Oh, my back hurts more than Shannon Sharpe's girls Instagram Live. Hey! Aloha, mother fathers. Welcome in. Another episode of the Side Hustle Podcast.
Where my dogs at? Ho, 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 ho.
For context.
Don't take your dogs to Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah. We're just dropping pop culture references right out the gate.
Send Braun Breaker to Springfield, Ohio. Make him take care of some business down there.
He might eat your cat too while he's at it.
Yeah.
So I threw my back out this week. By the way, welcome in. Kyle Cornell, Double A Anthony Alford, as always, here in the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. Happy to have you guys with us. And Shannon Sharpe decided to lay down some pipe on his Instagram Live. This has been a fantastic week so far.
His Instagram, Twitter, whatever, was hacked.
Sure it was.
Was hacked.
Sure it was.
You see who commented on that, by the way?
Yeah, fucking R-Truth. Hey, man. Is he fucking on there? Dude, Ron Killens is amazing.
Oh
I want to train to wrestle again just so I could be around that kind of person. That's honestly fantastic. Just
R-Truth. I didn't even notice the first time I watched the video.
He's on there.
He's on there. He's
Wait, is he fucking?
Oh my god.
My god.
Now,
but, hey,
I sent that to you guys.
Oh.
Did you open that up at work?
Yeah. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I thought maybe R-Truth was on the show.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy to think of just because the not obviously Ron Killens is a very talented person, but
he would have been on Club Shay Shay or something.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Oh, maybe he's looking at, he had John Cena on.
Yeah.
Maybe he's thinking about getting some wrestlers on now, whatever it is, ESPN, whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's just a camera down at the fucking, on some sort of dresser, and someone's getting some things happening.
Did I give you a description of the tweet when I sent it?
I think you said something along the lines of,
let me see what I said here.
Look at R-Truth, what he said.
I said here, oh, this is what I said. I said, we can't play this. Laughing my you-know-what off. We have to talk about R-Truth's comments on Shannon Sharpe's live performance on Instagram. That was more just to alert Pete not to play.
Google, how long...
Even our show... We can do almost anything. We can't play that. We have sponsors. We cannot play that video.
I mean, we could. Who gives a fuck?
No. We can't play that video.
Well, I'll tell you who gives a fuck. Shannon. But that's beside the point.
Maybe too much.
I feel I wonder how long the average NFL play is. Snap to whistle. Maybe, what do you think? Maybe 10, 15 seconds tops?
Less than that, probably.
Less than that?
Probably 8 seconds.
Hey, Shannon Sharpe's more than one whistle kind of guy, if you know what I'm saying.
Man.
Shooter.
Man.
Happy Gilmore, 2025.
She got her first take. Let's go to... Oh, my God. What a transition. Our sweet moment of the week. Brought to you by BA Sweeties. That's what Kyle did at work when he tried to avoid that video.
I jumped on another man? No.
No, you were Braun Strowman. It's no, put that away.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that was kind of awkward. Luckily, it was towards the end of the day when Double A sent it, so I was lucky there was only one person around.
The end of business. Yes, the end of business.
End of business. But this was business right here with Bronson Reed, who apparently has recovered from the vid and has made his comeback. And, of course, lack of a better way to put it, he put Braun Strowman through the announce table because Braun decided to jump into it a little bit. But still awesome. And the fact that Bronson Reed is this over. That crowd in Calgary, kind of mid, if we're being honest. Not the best. Glad there was a bunch of people there. Pop for Bret Hart, whatever it was. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
By Canadian standards, below average.
Yes, very not. Even when Sammy came out, I thought maybe he was going to get more of a reaction.
Yeah.
But they love this. I mean, Bronson Reed has found it. He's found this new niche. I said before, this is like that guy, Braun, back in 2016 when all of a sudden that Roman Reigns feud just hit and people were just like, holy shit, we like Braun Strowman.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, you're 100% right.
This Bronson Reed momentum can carry into a multiple-time world championship run if he can keep this up, which it's all going to come down to booking, and I trust Triple H in 2024 a lot more than I do Vince McMahon in 2016 when it comes to booking one of these guys to be able to keep going and keep the momentum. At bar minimum, this is obviously a threat for Braun Breaker's IC title at some point down the line. But, I mean, he's getting, and because he took out Seth Rollins,
That's a money feud when Seth comes back.
That's a Royal Rumble type feud.
Yeah.
That's a Survivor Series type feud. That's something where it's okay.
I can even justify if Rollins takes a ton of time off and is not back until Mania season. That would belong at Mania if they went that far. I'm not saying they would,
But they won't because
it's a big match.
Punk and Rollins will probably be up there.
You're right.
They need to have that match.
You're right,
yeah.
but that's still Survivors. Whenever they have it, that's still a big feud. I can't wait for this match coming up whenever it happens.
Oh, those two, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Bad Blood or even an episode of Raw. But I'll tell you, Braun Strowman, he was near the end of business day. Didn't expect Bronson Reed.
Actually, I think what would be the great for Seth and Bronson. I hate to change off of Braun here for a second, but that first Raw on Netflix. I imagine you build up. Maybe Seth comes back after Survivor Series, and you build up to that.
Oh, I got you.
That's a very.
I got you.
That's not a bad possibility to have that because it's a big moment. Obviously, they want to load up that show. John Cena's gonna be back. All that stuff's going on. Maybe The Rock shows up too. The fuck knows? It's Netflix. But I mean, it's
a big deal. It'll be on January 6th, 2025.
I thought it was. Is it really the 6th?
Yes.
I thought it was the 1st.
The Netflix premiere, the Monday falls on January 6th.
That's fucked up. All right.
Boy,
this week is just a blur at this point.
We're off and running.
I'll tell you what. What were you doing on January 6th, AA?
I was actually working at T-Mobile. I was working at T-Mobile, and then
I was at the state capitol in North Dakota.
Okay,
I was in Bismarck.
Finish that sentence.
Yeah, because you don't want to know the rest of what AA was doing. But no, it was a full thing, and I didn't really understand the magnitude of what had happened at that point. Even though I worked in news for a long time, I was kind of like, it's fine here. There was a couple protesters outside, but nothing. It's a Republican state, so there wasn't a lot of pushback. There wasn't a lot of anything. But then you see what obviously happened, and that's another story. But nevertheless, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this, and sky's the limit for Bronson Reed because he's younger too. He's got when they first brought him back, we both were kind of like, Triple H is trying to sign guys, whatever it is. He's found this niche again as this new monster on this program, and he's believable. He's fucking up some big dudes, and it's showing.
Give Triple H credit too, talking about bringing back, former talent. That's like, I don't know. Yeah, Bronson Reed's on that list. Nia Jax a year ago
was a pariah,
and no one Nia Jax. A lot of people hated it.
Yeah.
A lot of people was like, why are we wasting a roster space on Nia Jax? There's a lot of younger talent that could come up, and Nia's killing it.
Now she's a champion, yeah.
Yeah, now champion. You could see kind of the same deal here with Bronson Reed, and it would make sense. I'm actually excited to see Braun Strowman. Despite my previous comments about Braun Strowman on this program, I'm actually excited to see Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed compete.
I'm still a little bit upset about that with EC3. If I have one bone to pick with that interview, besides me looking like an idiot, was when I brought up Braun Strowman. He kind of put it off a little bit. That's because he has a man crush on you, which is totally fine. We can appreciate that.
Greatly understandable.
What's not to like? Look at him. Can we do one shot on AA really quick? I mean, look at this. Look at all this right here. Yeah, so much. Look. Yeah. Soft, is that Burgundy? No, but this is what I'm talking about. He's
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy? ? But I mean, this is AA's hatred for Braun Strowman has stretched literally since January when we started this podcast.
Look at this guy. Look at
the Kinesius tape or whatever it's called.
What are we doing? What are we doing? I forgot to talk into the microphone.
You did. It's almost like it's our job. But no,
I'm not finished with you.
This is honestly really it's going to be great. It's going to get him over even more, Bronson Reed, and then when Seth comes back, I'd imagine Seth will eventually find his way to wherever Punk is, whether he's world champ or not, or if he's just in that feud. But more chance for Bronson to get even more over, even if he loses that feud. That's one of those times where I could see it where, unlike Otis and Chad Gable, with Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, Seth can win that feud at the end, but Bronson will have been elevated because he is real, the real deal, and he's taken seriously. He's not a comedy act.
Real quick, Bronson Reed, let's see how he is on the microphone when he's called upon.
He's been great.
When he when he talks backstage, he's been
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well,
So
when
I
Seth
ca-
comes back, it's gonna be on. He's gonna have to bring it.
so
He's gonna have to bring it.
I can't wait to see how he could deliver on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as perfect booking coming out of nowhere, Joe Tessitore's reaction, which we'll talk about on the other side here, it's just really good stuff. And this part of the Fatal 4-Way was Jey Uso won and is now the number one contender for the IC Championship. I'll tell you what, we got to move here, but Bad Blood. If you are starting to look at that card, it's looking sneaky good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Emphasis on it, and they're starting early, right? Because of the UFC pay-per-view that night or whatever it is. So they're loading this shit up. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Our BA Sweeties sweet moment of the week. Big Bronson Reed
Whooping that ass.
on Braun Strowman. What a shot, too, from WWE. That's a great shot. Oh, I actually covered up the credit. WWE credit.
That's the last time you're allowed to touch Slothy.
Or else he's going to take me and us to BA Sweeties. By the way, we are in September.
Yeah.
Candy season's coming up.
Oh yeah.
Candy season's coming up.
Not even just Halloween. We talk about obviously Christmas too.
Yeah.
It's that time of year, folks. We're gearing up towards it. How many months until Christmas now? October, November, like 3.5.
Getting close.
Unless that's like what, a month and a half until we get to Halloween. Obviously, that's the candy holiday.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is your time. Stock up on some shit. We know it's good. We know it lasts a while, and we know they got it. They got a lot of it. So go check some things out for real.
In fact, if you don't believe us, just watch this and see all the stuff you could take home with you at BA Sweeties. You're going to need to know that address. You're going to need to know, get off of Interstate 480, right up there, that address, Interstate 480 exit, the Ridge Road, make a left on Brook Park Road, and that giant lollipop. As a matter of fact, just put it into your GPS.
If you have a car made after 2011, unlike me, make sure you put that into your GPS.
Put it in.
You should be able to have no problem finding it.
Put it in the GPS, man.
I still live in the freaking Stone Ages, so it's totally fine.
But hey, once you go there the first time, you will know exactly where to find that giant lollipop.
And you're going to want to go back because you can experience it. You can walk the full, obviously, warehouse, talk about how big that damn place is, and, of course, get all your steps in for that day. But you're going to want to go back because the shopping cart isn't big enough.
No, it's not.
The bag isn't big enough. You're going to want to get more. You're going to want to obviously get some for your family, your friends, your kids, all that kind of stuff, man. I mean,
Their
it's
kids.
It's so much. Yeah, if you're great-grandparents, hey, more power to you. Strong seed. But no, seriously, like having that connection, there's a reason why they've been around for almost 3/4 of a century, and they're the biggest candy store in North America. It's because they not only have all these different options for you, but they read in memories too, man. You talk about the putt-putt outside. Enjoy it while you can. It's still nice out. Take advantage of it. 80s all this week too in Northeast Ohio. It's more than just a candy store. It really is. It's really a place where you can take your family and have a great time. It could be a day trip too, with all the different activities they have. Shake Shop up in front too. It's fantastic.
And remember again too, especially with the putt-putt, early bird special, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. So if you have that random in-service day.
If you got younger kids, if you have kids that aren't in school
younger
yet.
children.
Maybe, hey, I don't feel like taking the kid to daycare today. I want to save a little bit of money. Well, you can spend it there instead and really have another core memory and enjoy that instead of just staying in the house, especially if it's nice out too.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it while you still can because we know in Northeast Ohio, stuff kind of changes pretty quick. So make sure you enjoy it.
Definitely. BA Sweeties, definitely check it out. Again, proud sponsor of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. Thank Tom, of course, over at BA Sweeties.
Hey, this handsome devil too. Look at him. Rocking the shades for the second straight week like he's a boss. It's like we've watched him grow from like an adolescent kid to like a teenager now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really impressive. At some point, he's going to have like a 5 o'clock shadow, and he's going to be really tired.
Is he going to go outside at some point?
What are you trying to say?
Is he going to go outside at some point?
I mean, he's been outside.
Of the studio. Is he going to go out?
He lives here.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He doesn't have a job. I mean, he just hangs out.
That is true.
Free rent. Am I right?
That is true. BA Sweeties, check it out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, we weren't going to. I was going to high five you for free rent, but this is what it is.
October is coming before you know it. Joe Tessitore.
So before you start.
No. This is all you.
Yes.
This is all you.
Yes. So I made a statement last week that I didn't think Joe Tessitore had it. Can we one shot on me, Pete, here for this? I want to apologize. I want to apologize. Now, here's the thing you don't know. So YouTube TV's back. I watched all of Raw.
Okay.
I got a full taste of 3-hour Joe Tessitore. I do want to apologize to you and to our fans and the public for saying that I wasn't sure that Joe had it. I can unequivocally say, I did the Trump thing for a second. I can unequivocally say, one hand, a little bit easier, that I was 100% wrong about what I said last week.
You're a believer of Joe.
I'm 100% certain this guy doesn't fucking have it, all right? This was honestly one of the worst called Monday Night Raws I've ever heard in my life. Joe, stick with football. He was quiet. He was monotone. He had no energy except for a couple big moments. He doesn't have it.
It's
and now I know.
Show.
And now I know.
It's the
and now I know.
Show,
Mark
Kyle.
my words. Mark my words. Predictions on this show go pretty bad for AA. They go pretty good for me. Listen to this. By the time Raw moves to Netflix in January, of course, we know they're going to shift around, the announcers, whatever it is.
Colin McAfee will be on Raw on Netflix.
Joe Tessitore will no longer be with WWE come January 1st.
It's the second show, Kyle.
He will be out.
It was show number 2.
He will be out.
He's already put in 6 hours worth of Monday Night Raw.
Whoop-de-fucking-do.
6 hours
It will be Corey Graves and Wade Barrett back on SmackDown. It will be Colin McAfee on Raw, like the good Lord intended it, and he will go back to doing a very good job calling football, but a not so good job calling wrestling. This may be one of the worst WWE have pulled in. Just being honest.
You don't see these fans. You don't see her reacting to his call.
No, they're not, because they're the fucking audience. They're not reacting to his call.
They can hear his call.
No, they can't.
They can hear. If you're
no, they can't. Because he talks like this. Because he's like, oh my God, Bronson, we came in and he got him. Oh my God. Oh, look at Liv Morgan in the ring. Talking like fucking Sever. Look at Liv Morgan in the ring. Harry Potter. Give me the wand, Potter. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, that was honestly one of the worst. Like, that's like, whoo, I miss Kevin Patrick. Like, that's how bad that was.
Oh, get out of here.
That's how bad that was. Joe Tessitore, what I was truthful about last week, what I believe, is that Joe Tessitore is a very talented announcer. The problem is they keep trying to do this. They're pulling people not from the wrestling world who maybe are fans, maybe are not, whatever, who have a lot of experience and expect them to go into the lead play-by-play role in his very first role in the company. Michael Cole got good at this over time because he worked his way up and through.
It took Michael Cole like 15 years.
It did, but guess where he started? As a backstage announcer, not leading the main fucking show.
Do you want to let this guy get more than 6 hours of work?
I want him to be backstage doing interviews first or doing something else besides being the main voice on his first fucking day with the company. This is a bad idea, and mark my words, January 1st, Joe Tessitore will not be calling wrestling anymore. It will be over. It will be over.
Pete.
Period.
Pete.
End of story.
Pete.
Don't go look at Pete. He can't save you.
No. Pete, save this tape. Save this tape for when we go on the air, because he's going to be dead effing wrong. He's going to be dead wrong.
You put this guy, you put it with Wade on fucking SmackDown? Is that what, you put him with Corey on SmackDown and delegate fucking Corey and bring him down from all the great stuff Corey Graves has done? The only fucking announcer besides Michael Cole that's actually sounded good doing play-by-play over the past 10, 15 years?
But Graves has been in the system, in the commentary
system
use him for the last decade.
Why the fuck you're wasting money bringing this fucking guy in?
One of these days, Michael Cole probably wants to do other things in his life.
You don't need to worry about that. Then let Corey do both fucking shows. He's young. He can handle it.
Eventually, Corey's going to break out, and you need somebody.
You don't.
All right, fine. Bring in Excalibur.
No. That's the only person worse.
You gotta look. If anything, the mistake that WWE has done over these years is to try to bring in these people and to try to make them sound like Michael Cole. That's not happening.
Excited to be there. He's monotone with this. He's got to learn that. He's got to pick that shit up.
So honestly,
dude, lots of lulls. Lots of lulls. Too much.
That I agree.
I wanted to stop fucking watching.
No, I agree with I think what's happening is that he is getting fed what he is supposed to be saying, and it's taking a while for him to process what needs to be said.
Wade Barrett is pulling a fucking Corey Graves. He's carrying the broadcast now. He has to start doing that.
But Wade Barrett has been in the commentary system.
You're making my argument
for the last 3 years.
You've got people in the pipeline that are doing a good job. Why bring this guy in?
They don't have enough people in the pipeline.
What do you mean? They have 2 fucking sets of teams.
They don't have enough people. You need more people.
No, you don't.
Yes, they do.
2 people for fucking announced teams.
Okay, let me give you this. Flip over to ESPN. Watch Monday Night Football. Joe Buck loses his voice on Monday Night Football. Is Scott Van Pelt ready to just step in and do play-by-play?
Probably.
On day one?
He's a professional. He can handle it. Different.
He's a professional, but he's a studio host.
So?
He's not going to just step...
You're making my point for me again, by the way.
No, he's not going to just step right in and know how to work with Troy Aikman.
Call up a guy from NXT. Is who's back down? Who's doing the actual... who's the one guy?
Vic Joseph.
Fucking have Vic Joseph come up. At least he fucking knows what he's doing.
Then who's calling NXT?
Booker T and someone else.
Booker T's not that great
It's a developmental show.
Booker T.
It's Monday Night Raw.
On cable. It's on the USA Network. Same time slot as Raw.
So what?
That's kind of a big deal.
And it has a third of the viewers. That's my fucking point. This is the big
deal.
time. You can't put someone on there who's
you
not used to doing this.
You got to put somebody on there.
Yes, but Joseph can go up for fucking 4 months.
All right, fine. Let's bring out Pat Summerall from the dead, and he could call the shows.
Take the guy who was leading.
Take John Madden from the dead and have him call the shows. Somebody has to call the fucking shows.
I just gave you the fucking.
Somebody has to. You have to build a bench. Now,
is Joe Tessitore going to be on the bench then? Because that's where he belongs. For wrestling calls, he belongs on the bench. He should go to NXT. That should be where he works.
We didn't put the call in, but the call of this was great.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big deal when you're putting together pay-per-view packages with leading into their match coming up. That's kind of a big deal.
I'm going to interrupt you because you interrupted me. The 3 times that he decided to have emotion in the broadcast were fantastic. The other fucking 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes where he talked like this, waiting for something to happen and didn't want to talk up anyone and kind of did this. And the only time he was serious and it made sense was when obviously they paid tribute to the hockey players that passed. The Columbus Blue Jackets guys.
Yeah.
That was sincere. I felt that. That was good because that's where Joe's wheelhouse is. He's serious. He's meaningful. He's mindful. He doesn't have.
By the way, did a great job.
She did. It was great. It was fantastic.
Go ahead.
It was so good. But like seriously, like this is my point.
I'm gonna hit you with another match prediction coming up in a little bit,
which is fine. But you've got a bench. That's what NXT is for.
They do not have.
That's what NXT
they don't have
is
depth.
for.
That's the problem.
Vic Joseph is getting breeded and getting bred to be able to get to that point where he can call SmackDown, so Corey can move to Raw.
Again, who's after Vic?
Who gives a fuck? It's NXT.
You just
said 3-4 months.
No, you just said.
Find somebody else.
No.
Well, put Joe.
What the fuck you think they're doing?
On NXT.
What do you think they're doing?
600,000 people versus 1.8 million.
Kyle, you're not making sense.
What are you talking about?
You're not making sense. You can't just say, get rid of this guy, and then the next line, find somebody else.
Vic
They've
Joseph.
been trying to find somebody else for the last 25 fucking years.
Vic
and
Joseph.
they haven't done it. So at least here,
it's temporary.
And then you said he's better than, or Kevin Patrick's better than him?
I miss a little bit of Kevin Patrick.
Are you out of your mind? Were you watching?
Same damn thing.
That is not
color
the same
guys
thing.
carrying the fucking broadcast. Might as well have someone who at least knows wrestling a little bit.
What the hell did Kevin Patrick know about wrestling?
More than this fucking dude.
What did he know about wrestling?
A little bit more than this fucking dude. Can you give me examples?
Can
You're getting all upset.
No. Can you give me an example of when they used a Kevin Patrick call, when they used his call on a pay-per-view package going into a match?
Let's see if they
can't. That's why he's
answer a question
gone.
now. I can.
He's gone.
I can answer a question
Fine,
now.
answer the question.
No, fuck you.
Fuck it. Answer the fucking question.
No, you want to do it.
Answer the question.
No, I'm not going to. Why? So I get talked over immediately when I start again? No, it's bullshit. They have a bench. Vic Joseph is their bench. He's their third string play-by-play guy. He should have been the one called up. If you want Joe to learn and then eventually go to SmackDown, put him on NXT. There are 600,000 people a week that watch NXT, right? It's on USA Network. You are correct. It is on a broadcast network. There are 1.8 million people that watch Raw. It is your show. You need to put Corey on fucking Raw and have him call that show. Have Vic go on SmackDown and call SmackDown. And then you fucking, or whatever. Michael Cole's obviously still there. So Michael can still do Raw. Corey can still do SmackDown. It doesn't make any fucking sense. If anything, pull fucking Booker T up and have him do color on SmackDown at this point. And then have fucking move Wade over the Raw with fucking Michael Cole. Whatever. But the point is, you're throwing Joe to the Wolves right now, and he's not going to be with the company because he's not doing that well. He's not. He can say whatever he wants about an individual call. Did he have a call better than Kevin Patrick in this situation? Probably, yes, whatever. I'm being fucking matter of fact. Of course, Joe Tessitore is a better announcer overall than fucking Kevin Patrick. Of course he is. Overall, wrestling, fucking toss-up.
What are we debating then?
You're getting mad about nothing.
You're not making any fucking sense.
What made no sense about that?
He's 2 shows in.
I see what I see, and I know what I saw, and
he's
he's always been like that. He has that kind. He's serious. He's mindful. He has that. You can build up. You can go play by play in the fucking actual football game. Where okay, we can be big and we can talk for 5 seconds, and then we're calm for the rest of the fucking time until the play comes to fruition. Oh, there's Tom Brady under center, and he takes the snap and drops back to pass. Oh, he hits him over the sideline. What a throw! 2nd down and 10 on the. That works for football. It doesn't work here. You have to be engaging the entire time. You cannot just pull half of it. It's not about being Michael Cole. It's about showing enthusiasm for why you're being there. Like I said, in the serious, mindful moment, he was great. It made a lot of sense to have that kind of, hey, we got to tone it down for a second. We got to be serious because this is obviously a sad moment. We got to pick that shit back up. He doesn't do that.
So
he can learn it, but right now, no.
So I'll give you this just to move the conversation along. I actually like Tess more in pro wrestling than in football, to be perfectly honest.
You like falling asleep, I guess. I don't know what it is. Because it was tough. It was tough. I'm just saying, it was tough. Energy. We just had energy. What we did back and forth, at the end, I'm going to kiss him on the mouth. We're going to be fine. But, this is what I'm talking about.
Sloppy, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm spitting all over the place today. My back hurts. I don't give a fuck. but I probably should have warned these guys, too, that I'm a little bit fucking jolty with, the back shit.
Hold up.
I'm already aggravated.
Look at my pocket.
You, went inside out.
Dude.
Like the inside of Shannon Sharpe's girlfriend's vagina. You went inside out. But, this is pink sock over here. But nevertheless.
This is embarrassing. Go back to him. Just go to the one shot. I have nothing right now.
Yeah, fix his pocket.
Dude, my pockets. What? Dude.
Is that a knife in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me? He's just dropping shit on the floor now. But this.
Just go to him.
Do I think Joe Tessitore is a bad announcer? No. When it comes to wrestling, he needs to bring it. Because if he keeps that shit up, if he keeps up he's got one call a night where we got really excited, but the rest of the time he's talking like this, and he's barely being able to be heard over a quiet crowd in Calgary, well then, he's not going to be around. Or they'll flip him to SmackDown, and he'll work with Corey, whatever, and Corey's going to outshine the fuck out of him, and then he's going to be gone within a couple months on SmackDown. What's the fucking difference? Then they're looking for another fucking guy. Take NXT seriously. Use that as what it literally is, your developmental. If Vic Joseph can handle filling in for a few months, find someone else that's a backstage commentator, Byron Saxton, someone like that, whoever.
Oh, dear God.
Whatever,
Saxton.
but that's the place where you try shit out, not on Monday Night Raw. 1.8 million views on average versus 600,000. My money says the person that knows a little bit about wrestling and at least calls it on a week-to-week basis should probably be in that spot. At least Vic Joseph has been with the company for multiple years. Like you said, he's been in the system. He can be fed shit and know how to tell stories and get through and have a little bit of energy, as opposed to Joe Tessitore, who has a wealth of experience in a different avenue, trying to come in from day one and call it the number one show that they have. There's a big difference between that. It's not all Joe T's fault, because he's being put in this situation. But I'm telling you, there's a reason why the ratings are going to start dropping a little bit too. You're going to start seeing it when people stop listening because, yeah, it's Joe T. Yeah, but he's not like really good at calling this. They're lucky they're going back to 2 hours possibly, and they are because they're going to need that.
That's the next slide.
How about that?
That's the next slide.
That's a two-wheeled thing you drive when you lean forward. Call that a Segway.
I think that was one of the moments on this show we needed a moderator.
No, we didn't, because
No.
ABC would have trashed that.
No, I mute these mics. Actually, Pete has that power.
He does. And surprisingly, he didn't throughout all that, which is really impressive.
Oh, man.
See, I want to lose my back and my voice today, so this is what we're going for.
No, I think we'll just...
Why were we even fighting?
Because I 100% disagree with you, that's why.
Okay, but still. See, now that's how it should work in the other political world, too. We should be able to yell at each other for 5 minutes and then move the fuck on. That'd be great. They should allow yelling at presidential debates. That'd be funny.
They should allow what? I'm sorry.
Yelling.
Yelling?
That'd be great. Just, hey, get it out of your system.
Well, Kamala did almost call Trump an MFer and had to hold back.
She should have. She would have got more votes.
She better be ready to pay the FCC if she was doing that.
Oh, I'm sure they could have tape delayed that a little bit.
They could have, baby.
We had to dump it because Kamala Harris called Donald Trump a mother father.
So this news came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Literally. Kyle Cordell's fallen asleep listening to Joe Tessitore, and then out of the blue.
In and out.
Out of the blue, this news drops.
I just want to point out, by the way, too, I've taken Advil. I have these patches on my back. I've had icy hot last night. Nothing is better to put you to sleep than a Joe Tessitore wrestling call. It honestly it hits you right where you need to, hits that sweet spot, and just... Oh, Bronson Reed did something. Oh, Gunther's here. Main event. Oh, he found a sign from the crowd.
I swear, if Opus does not cut that just now, I'm going to be so pissed. Opus does not cut that.
Nevertheless, that's a big announcement. I think we've been kind of talking about this for a while.
I want to ask you this. A good chunk of people on social media complaining about this. Complaining because what they're saying now is, and I somewhat understand, I disagree, but I somewhat understand their viewpoint. Triple H is actually putting out a good product, is actually trying to he actually figured out how to book a 3-hour show, and all of a sudden, it's back to 2 hours.
Still feels kind of long. I'm just going to
put it
out there. But
it is.
2 hours is like the sweet spot. It's like,
and it's the perfect time for 2024, ending at 10 o'clock.
It's going to get darker earlier, that kind of thing. I mean, plus on Netflix, who knows what they're going to do? I mean, they can go back to 3 hours. They can start at 7. I don't know. I mean, they can do whatever they want. Also, don't be surprised if you hear SmackDown is going to 3 hours, because that could be a thing where USA wants a certain amount of time for WWE television, and they can only commit to having a 3-hour show one of the 2 times. That obviously means, like in future drafts, SmackDown would get more picks, that kind of thing. I mean, who knows? I mean, I think the 2 hours is more than enough. The other 2 shows are 2 hours. Why not make it all full circle, make it really feel even, as opposed to Raw getting 3? When they first went to 3, I thought it was a dumb idea. What was that, back like in 2010 or something like that? 2012, yeah.
2012.
Right year. World still did not end, and we had to go 3 hours of Raw, so it pretty much did end at that point.
Well,
but nevertheless, I mean, yeah.
Remember what they used to do? When it was 2 hours, but then like every quarter, they would have those specials, those 3-hour specials, which for the most part, those made sense. Like, hey, big show.
Which apparently they're going to do an NBC special at some point. That came out too.
Yeah, perhaps the return of Saturday Night Main Event. That's, I believe, coming in December.
God forbid they pull away from the Collision viewers.
Real little background with this too. Remember, Netflix, as we mentioned, starts with Raw in January.
Yeah.
The USA Network contract originally expired at the end of September.
Yeah.
So for a while, coming into this calendar year, Raw did not have a home from October through the end of the year.
Which we knew it was going to be. Hey, they've been with USA forever. They're still going to have product in USA. They would have worked out an extension.
And you're not going to, hey, does anybody want to pick up Raw for 3 months? Any network want to pick up Raw for $3?
Worst case scenario, they would have negotiated with Netflix and then pick them up sooner. I think that
I
wouldn't
think
have been
the
ideal, but
so what we were told, Netflix, the Raw deal with Netflix is a global deal.
yeah.
I believe some of the international contracts don't end until the end of the 2024 calendar year.
Yeah.
And Netflix wants to start everything at the same time.
Even though
So I think this was Netflix's call to start in January.
Even though I think PLEs are still going to be on Peacock, right?
Correct.
For now.
American. Yes.
American.
Here in the States.
Yeah. Everywhere else, Netflix.
Everywhere else on Netflix.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, partial deal. They still have that kind of halfway in with USA, Peacock, whatever that's NBC, I think it is. Yeah. So, I mean, but I like this, honestly. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a nice little test run to see how Raw looks back at 2 hours because there is so much good stuff going on the TV show. I mean, it's going to be like, okay, now I really can't miss it. So, I mean,
I know back in the day, Raw used to start at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 to 11.
Which is cool.
No, that's
cool. I'm happy that they go back to that route. I can't imagine. I will.
You want them to go back to 9 to 11?
No, I do not.
No,
I do not.
Yeah, I'd take 7 to 10 before I take 9 to 11.
Me
honestly.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm an adult now. We're both adults who have jobs.
And if Joe Tessitore is going to call it, I'm going to fall asleep anyway. So just make sure this show gets done quicker.
I mean, if Monday Night Raw starts at 6, you're going to lose Kyle at 6:25.
I'm going to finally have a really responsible bedtime. This is going to be great.
All right, let's move on here.
Next fucking slide. Why are we here?
Let me just,
I already fucking yelled at you today. You want me to do it again?
You don't even know what I'm going to say.
No, I don't. I really don't want to know.
Well, let me just say this.
How the mighty have fucking fallen, dude.
The picture is hilarious.
He was one of the most over men ever in pro wrestling. And now he's doing this in front of 2,200 people. I take that back. It was a pay-per-view, so it probably had like 10,000 people there.
Well, I mean, it was Moxley, Cesaro, and
It was fucking
turning over.
Timu Blackpool Combat Club now.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Fucking bullshit.
Hey, long-term storytelling. Bryan Danielson hates plastic. Plastic bag.
That's honestly garbage. Like this whole fucking
He
pay-per-view.
put him on. But
How many 5-star matches were on this pay-per-view?
I do want to give kudos a little bit to the end of Dynamite last week with Swerve and Hangman. I do think Hangman is starting to come into his own a little bit as a character, so I do want to give him that.
Still a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, that's his character now too.
Well, no, well, good.
That's
yeah,
his
might as well portray yourself like you are, you fucking loser.
But I thought that was a standout segment at the end of Dynamite last week. Bit of a risk to go with that angle at the end
To
of the show.
commit arson, yeah.
Hey, childhood home.
So we're not gonna.
Although
we're
apparently
gonna.
he burnt the wrong house, and it's Swerve. Real childhood home.
No, yeah, this. So we're not gonna. We're gonna pay to have a house built. Obviously, just the framework, whatever it is, so we can burn it down. It's so fucking. The lengths you'll go to tell a story that no one gives a fuck about to begin with is just.
Well, I will give them this.
Man, this is so stupid.
I'll give them this.
How many people are watching because of that? I'll give you a hint. None. And actually, they had the lowest viewership during the entire fucking show during that segment. So, yeah, fucking great job. Fantastic.
Well, I'll give them this.
Stupid.
It intrigued me a little bit. Just that angle. Most of the show didn't, but that angle I thought was...
You had to wait until the overrun.
I thought the angle was pretty good.
Yeah, you had to wait till the overrun.
Oh, yeah.
If it's that fucking good, lead the show with it. Get people interested. So that
Well,
way,
for the purpose of our show, I mean...
But wouldn't that make sense?
We're done taping.
We have the Big Bang Theory. It's the only reason why we have numbers, because they lead in, right?
The Big Bang Theory 7:30,
Yeah,
yep.
that's how we get 845,000 people to watch in the beginning of the show. After that, it drops into the 6s and the 5s. So don't you think in that first 15 minutes you need to do something captivating that's going to keep people, that's going to encourage them to watch? Holy fuck, they're doing this at the show? Okay, I need to watch. I need to watch the rest of the show. I can't miss this now. No. End of the show when 545,000 people are watching. You don't know what you're doing, Tony. You have no fucking idea. This guy even just told you something relatively interesting to happen, but it happened at fucking 10:06. You fucking idiot.
I was waiting for Modern Family.
The whole
I've
thing.
never watched that series, by the way, from start to finish. It's intriguing.
And I've watched the people on TikTok. Oh, doesn't matter if they only have 2,000 people in the stands. It's a TV deal. It's a TV deal. It's a TV deal. They're losing viewers.
And the TV deal is not signed
It's
yet.
still not signed. Oh, it's a lot of teasing and a lot of poking and a lot of prodding when they should be getting way more because they should be booking the show properly. Whatever he signs it for is not going to be what he should actually be worth. What the show should actually be. All the talent they have, and they're barely outdrawing NXT. That's not a win. It's not.
Well, let's see what they do here with Moxley. Let's see, because that's the next big championship feud on their side. Let's see what they do with Moxley. Let's see what they do with Danielson. See if that has a little bit of push. I think where AEW's at right now, overall as a show, if you watch week to week, it's still totality-wise, it's still not a good product. They have there's one or two storylines that they do that, all right, piques interest. But their problem has always been follow-up.
The reason why people are...
Real quick, let me
go ahead.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So I complimented the Swerve angle, right? You go to their match at All Out, and their match, so all of a sudden we're ascending to a broken steel chair shot over the head, cylinder blocks, things that, if that happened to normal people would kill them. and it doesn't make sense. So even in great moments where, hey, I have something to pitch here hey, this is something worth watching. This is something to check out. The follow-through almost always leaves a lot to be desired.
It's frustrating because I get this, hey, suspending our disbelief, right? Like, that can't happen once or twice. Not 17 times in a match. Not through all this stuff. And again, you're going to keep this core fan base of, let's be honest, probably when it comes to TV, maybe a couple 100,000, real, hardcore fans. You'll keep it. But you're going to slowly and surely lose all the casual fans that are maybe, my friend watches AEW, so I watch it to support. Or I watched from the beginning, so I feel like I have to. Like the one fan we ran into, of course, during SummerSlam weekend. I want to support him no matter what happens, but he even admitted it's not a great show. He's just there because he's been there since day one, and he's loyal, which I can appreciate loyalty. But at the same point, people are loyal to Vince McMahon. How'd that fucking turn out? You need to jump ship when it's time to jump, and it's time to fucking plunge. Because this is bad. It's bad television. It does matter. Your live events, people, does matter. Having audience, crowd there. It's like watching fucking COVID shows at this point. At this point, they should just close the fuck up shop and do a Thunderdome or go back to fucking Daly's place and don't allow fans in. Control it then. Control your crowd noise. Do all that stuff because this is bad. I watched a video on TikTok, too, of their show from Dynamite where Will Ospreay came out.
Okay.
The bottom rows were filled in the actual floor. Nobody in the stands.
Well, remember Ricochet's, I think it's his debut at AEW. He went to go do his traditional entrance, and he goes to the left side where the fans are, hands up, whatever. And then he quickly looked at the right light, and then went right to the ring.
You can't tell me it doesn't matter. It's not appealing. And eventually it's going to show up when they keep seeing their TV ratings drop and drop and drop and drop. And TNT's like, we got to pay you a lot less because your TV ratings are dropping and no one's going to the show. There's no interest.
At some point, that stuff matters. All kidding aside, at some point, that stuff matters. And it's like, even if you say, man, Danielson and Moxley, if this was a couple years ago, we said Danielson and Moxley are going to have a feud, and it's going to be hard-hitting, in-ring action, here we go for the World Championship.
Fans would buy tickets.
We're ready to go.
Fans would buy tickets. The TV ratings would be where they need to be as far as over 1 million viewers on average for shows. That's kind of my barometer. Because of how well Raw and SmackDown do.
Mm-hmm.
You need to draw at least 1 million people. And you need to keep it. NXT is what it is. It's developmental. I never expected NXT to compete with Dynamite because Dynamite, this is the roster.
Mm-hmm.
This is the entire roster.
Yeah.
NXT, minus a few guest spots, It's developmental people that are trying to get to the main roster where the show is getting 1.5, 2 million views a week.
Yeah.
That goes for announcers too. It goes for the regular wrestlers as well. Not every wrestler in NXT can make it on the main roster right now.
Oh,
so
speak real quick, since this is an announcer-driven show today, apparently. But this one actually so I'm watching I'm watching video of this turn.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Jim Ross is no longer in his prime. Obviously dealing with health issues and stuff, and he only does the pay-per-views now.
He makes money, and it's.
But it amazes me over there that Jim Ross is the only one who understands how to sell angles.
Does it? Who else is calling the action?
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's
a travesty.
They had Kevin Kelly. They could have tried to get Morrow in at one point. They didn't.
But it's we're talking about like who produces for the commentators and stuff. Like Tony Schiavone, who's loaded with experience.
He's never had it. Who
should at least know like at least some of the ins and outs of calling these shows. Oh, if I had a knife and gutted you in the stomach, a good announcer would be able to, he's laid out, like he's bleeding out, like what is wrong with Double A? Like he is a terrible person. Da 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 da. It's just Tony Schiavone would call it as Double A just stuck a knife into Kyle's stomach.
You're basically just repeating what we saw. You're giving
You're
a
not
radio.
adding a story.
You're giving a radio call, but still shortchanging a radio call at that point. Like you have to be descriptive. You have to give emotion. It's part of what I draw on a Joe Tess too. He does have those qualities. He just doesn't have the energy yet.
Right.
Which, hey, you know what? Maybe at some point he'll pick it up because they'll tell him like, "Hey, dude, come on, let's go." But we're not talking about Joe anymore. We're talking about this, and it's bad announcing. That's where it lives.
And honestly, Tess and as much as Kevin Patrick are above that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
100%.
You need good. All right, we got to move here. When we come back, we got Braun Breaker, Cody Rhodes, and LA Knight.
Look at that lineup.
Now that's a good lineup.
I actually count all 5. Look at that lineup. Bunch of handsome guys right there, huh?
How about that?
Same.
Of the 3 that's in the middle,
yeah.
Who will lose their championship first? We'll talk about that on the other side. Plus, we got a few things on this slide. AEW
I've never wanted
is
to
coming
do
to Cleveland.
rapid fire less.
Also, did you ever play Candy Stand? Candy Stand, like miniature golf on candystand.com. Did you ever do that?
Like on the Windows?
Yeah, like Windows 98.
No, I played outside.
You played outside.
I did.
Anti-kid.
No, I just didn't want to.
So, why is Shockwave, AEW, and Fox on the same slide? That's coming up. But first, we're going to hear a word from Mike from State Farm.
Oh, really?
He's our new sponsor. We'll talk about Mike from State Farm in just a little bit. But first, a word from BA Sweeties. 30 different flavors, as you saw right in there. A lot of good pops and a ton of pops. In fact, a ton of sodas that you don't even know about that you can get at BA Sweeties. Definitely check it out. Interstate 480, Ridge Road exit. Make a left on Brook Park Road, and you see the giant lollipop. All set and ready to go. Also, my man right here.
He's been. What did I say about touching Slothy? You better apologize.
I'm readjusting your sunglasses.
Apologize to Slothy.
I apologize. Your sunglasses
getting
were
just maliciously molested on this fucking show.
Talk to the audience about Mike from State Farm, please.
This dude is awesome. All right, so listen. Hey, bar minimum, go follow him on social media. It's pretty easy to find him. Just search the name, especially like on like Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. This dude travels all over the country too and does amazing things. He's been in Kansas City. He's been all over the country, even just recently. And also, he's one of us. He's training to be a professional wrestler. So excited to see what happens with him with Exodus Pro coming up next month. If he's going to be on the show or not, is he going to hit that open challenge accepted by somebody through? Trying to have him on in a few weeks to see if we can talk more about that.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, definitely.
We have to clear out with Daddy first, TC3, but nevertheless, awesome dude. And the cool thing about this is me and Double A talked about it. We met with Mike when we were first kind of going over our options to work with us here at the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast, and he's a really good dude.
Yeah, he is.
Just a really awesome person, someone you really want to talk to and kind of find out more about, and obviously have him tell you stories. And I want that kind of person in my corner when it comes to taking care of the things that matter most to me in my life. When it comes to your car, your family, your home, those kind of things. When you think about insurance, you think about someone that you really want to have in your corner, no pun intended. Mike is that kind of guy.
I know. I you had some back issues, of course, with the gym, but imagine, having those, issues from an auto accident.
Yeah.
Imagine something happening, with your home and whatnot. Life insurance, things like that. Mike is in your corner. Mike will take care of you. Mike will handle business. His entire team. Sarah's in there too. Like the entire team.
Got a great group over there.
Yeah,
honestly.
They will take care of you. And they're one of us. They're here local, here in Cleveland, at Cleveland Heights, Lee Boulevard, Mayfield Road, right in that corner, right in the same building as Starbucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get your coffee, you have your meeting with Mike, and of course, you never know when if anything can happen. You want coverage. You want trusted coverage.
It's hard nowadays because everyone's very obviously to themselves. They're more kind of private. When you do go for things like insurance, you talk about the importance of life insurance. Your car, your family, the house, that kind of stuff, your apartment, whatever it is. You want to work with someone you can really trust. Someone that you feel gets you, that understands what you're going through, that's willing to give you the time to really find out what your needs really are, and then try to meet them for you and show you what he can do. Mike's going to take that time. Like, for all the craziness he has going on in his life, this is truly what he cares about. It's his passion, it's his love, is to help people and to see people do well and to be safe and to be protected. I mean, it'd be crazy not to at least give him a call. 216-932-6900 is the number right on the screen right there. You can go to his website to obviously State Farm to search for the agent. Search Mike Favorite there. You can obviously type in the side. You can get a quote online too. There's so many different ways to do this. Mention us, the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. And of course, he'll smile a little bit and talk about his wrestling too if you want to find out more about the actual State Farm agent that is trying to become a professional wrestler, which is an awesome story in its own right. By all means, do that. You see him right there with DC3 and company. I mean, it's phenomenal. And of course, you'll be able to see him too at the shows when you go out to him. You can support him there too. Just an awesome person. So happy that he's with us here in the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast, and really looking forward to see what happens with Mike now. And of course, looking forward for you to make that call to reach out to him to find out what you're entitled to and what he can do for you. Because again, today's day and age, it really matters who you're working with as well as what they're doing for you. Mike's the guy to do that.
Definitely. And again, that's his number. Of course, that's what you see. Definitely check it out. Could have said any better. Mike will take care of you. And the social media channels are there too. So.
Oh, God. Dude. It's a follow. Like,
yeah, it is.
After you're done talking to him for a little bit, follow him on social media because it's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
Be serious. Do what you need to do. You take care. You take care of Sloppy.
Are you okay?
You take care of him.
You've been violated a lot today, buddy. I got you. Don't worry about it.
We'll be seeking therapy.
My favorite agent on IG, great follow.
Yeah, it is.
Instagram's the new thing nowadays for all you young whippersnappers out there. He's the one to really pay attention to because it's awesome.
All right, let's move on here. So, 3 great men, 3
Two great men and three people in the background.
That's right. That's a better way to introduce this segment. All right, who will lose their championship first? Now.
Now, do you have a take? I actually want to ask you first, since it was a thing I kind of threw out there. What do you? This is tough because the
easy answer is Braun Breaker.
Well, the safe answer is WrestleMania, and all three of them will lose, right? But I mean, like, right?
Do I go
Right?
with? Mm-hmm.
Don't be safe. Don't pull Mike from stage.
Cody Rhodes. Because my Randy Orton prediction will actually come true.
I hope you're right.
Now, we didn't get a chance to comment on this. Cody and Solo are going to have their championship match on the first episode of SmackDown USA. That is perfect.
Yeah.
I don't want that at the pay-per-view.
Is it a cage match too now?
I'm not sure.
I thought I saw cage somewhere.
At least it's a WWE championship match. We have a rapid-fire question coming up about Solo and Jacob Fatu coming up in a little bit. Perfect place to do it.
Yeah.
Big enough, but you're not going to waste my time on a pay-per-view. And so that way, and we actually got a lot of reaction on all of our TikTok and YouTube about my Randy Orton heel turn idea.
Yeah.
I think maybe either the path starts at SmackDown. I'll give you a prediction. Randy Orton's turning this Friday.
Wow.
Randy is turning this Friday.
I don't know.
Orton is turning this Friday. I'm going out on a limb.
You got to be careful when you do these kind of things.
I'm going out on a limb.
They don't tend to be very good.
I'm going out. I'm trying to recover from the dead here.
Yeah, because Otis, you're still kind of licking your wounds on that one. But
that feud is still continuing.
you okay?
Look. Chad Gable feuds last 6 months. Okay, it's still going on. We're still waiting on the Wyatt Six to move on to their next feud.
I think they're done now.
We hope.
That street fight, you can't do much more than that.
We hope.
So,
Chad Gable's laid out in the middle of the ring in front of the Wyatt Six. I hope that feud is done.
Yeah, me too. It's time. But interesting prediction. I think that's a fair one too, because Cody has a lot more outliers, right? We can think of, when's The Rock coming back? Is he going to win? Do they have Roman Rock for the title this year at WrestleMania? Do they find a way to do that shit finally? I mean, is Randy going to be the guy to do it? Will Cena show up at some point? Like, you never really know.
Oh,
I mean,
let me drop in one thing real quick, because it's what you said last week that actually kind of convinced me. You give Randy Orton the championship at Bad Blood, Cody can win it back.
Yeah.
It's not like you're shooting, because I think the feud's going to be at a whole different point.
I don't think that Bad Blood is the place. I think Survivor Series, because that's his pay-per-view. He was the sole survivor like multiple times. He's been Mr. Survivor Series. I think that makes more sense. And then have those two maybe feud through Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So that way Cody's not in the Rumble this year, so he can't win 3 straight times.
That's true.
And that way Randy has something to do for the next few months going into...
So if we go by your timeline, I'm still sticking with Cody Rhodes as my answer to this.
Will make sense.
Now, with that being said, that also means... Okay, I kind of dread the next part of this, because that also means that Jey Uso will once again not win a singles championship in a big match.
I think that's the trend. I think the hope is eventually to get him to a point where, you know what, we can make sense of Jey being the champion. The champion, not the Intercontinental champion, like the champion, like World Heavyweight champ or whatever it is. But unfortunately, I don't think that's in the plans because of the bigger overarching story of the Bloodline and what they're trying to accomplish. So I think, unfortunately, this Intercontinental title match for Jey, whether it happens at Bad Blood, whether it happens on Raw, I mean, it's more of a kind of a filler. He's been stuck in this filler mode until they can get to Survivor Series with the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. And after that is when maybe you can see Jey branch out. Maybe Jimmy and Jey team up again and go for tag gold again because the tag team division really needs it. But, I mean...
To be fair, though,
I don't know.
I'm very intrigued by the feud. I'm very intrigued by Braun and Jey for what they could do together and then the outcome, like what's going to happen with them after. Because even with Braun, I think Braun's mic skills are pretty pretty effing good.
It's what happens when you lead the. He was the guy in
Yeah.
NXT for 3 years, 4 years, whatever it was. So it kind of helped. He got a lot of trial by error, and he's weeded out a lot of the bullshit to where it's believable.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy. And Jay, Serious Jay, is going to be fun to watch.
I think Serious J to me is money.
Because he blends in. He has fun with the yeet and all that shit, whatever it is. But now with Braun, he can't fuck around.
Mm-hmm.
Even with like Gunther and with Seth and Damian and some of these guys, he can still kind of have that, whimsical kind of funny shit. He knows this guy will fuck him up.
Yeah.
Like Braun don't mess around.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can get pretty rough. So he's gonna take this seriously. Serious Jay's Money Jay, like you said. I mean, that has the ability, if it's done right, it could be a headliner of a pay-per-view if it's done correctly, and it should be a feud we see more than just through this Intercontinental Championship. It could be a world title feud down the road.
Yeah.
But it has that kind of potential. But I mean, for right now, I mean, Jay again, he's kind of in this holding pattern.
Now you have LA in this
I do.
graphic.
Well, the 3 main male champions on WWE TV currently, main roster. Like, besides Gunther, because, again, Gunther wasn't included in that.
No, it's fine. Like, I like it. Yeah.
These 3 were more interesting and more kind of thinking towards me. Gunther screams WrestleMania. It's kind of obvious. Maybe possibly after that, depending on how they want to keep that going.
Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, right.
Bill Goldberg.
I prefer Brock or John Cena,
No,
but I mean, yeah, I get it. But yeah, he's his favorite.
That was a great line.
He's his favorite. It's setting up Bill for a retirement
That
match.
was a great line.
You're my favorites, and now I'm going to retire you, you big bald idiot. No,
That was a great line.
My second favorite wrestler of all time, behind Bill Goldberg.
Well, critique Triple H production. You set down Sammy a tad bit too early, just a tad. I wanted them to kind of milk that a little bit,
Yeah.
just a tad. Just
Milk
that
it
was
like Shannon Sharpe's Instagram Live. Milk that shit.
What was that, R-Truth?
Are they fucking?
He's dumb as hell on WWE programming, but he knew what was going on with that.
He hangs out with Woods.
Yeah.
Only real wrestling fans will get that reference. It's been a while since I
going to
laid
AEW?
in this.
Actually, don't answer.
All right.
Don't answer.
How's Falling in Reverse doing? Anyway, all right. So my selection. God, these are a bunch of references no one's gonna fucking get.
No.
I, for actual intents and purposes, I said Jay's in a holding pattern. I think Braun,
Okay.
and I think it's gonna be soon.
How soon? How soon are we talking?
When's Jay's championship match?
Bad blood.
Bad blood. I think Braun. We've almost likened Triple H now to these long title reigns, and I think it's time for a bit of a mix-up. I think Jay bringing the IC title, because they're not going to be tag champs, into that feud with the Bloodline adds a little more legitimacy to Jay being the true right-hand man to Roman Reigns. Now he's a singles champion. You can't fuck with Jay. And who's going to match up with Jacob for 2? Who's going to be that guy? Because if it's really Roman and Solo, those are the 2 leaders. Who's going to be that guy that matches and looks at Jacob for 2 and goes, yep, he could go one-on-one with Jacob.
It's
Champion, singles champion Jay needs to be that guy.
Let me just backtrack just a little bit. Let's just focus on Bad Blood itself.
Yeah.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Jey Uso wins that championship in Atlanta.
My God.
Man.
My God.
Man.
My God.
Man.
Those strip clubs are going to be going crazy.
Man.
And Shay Shay's going to be there. And
4 a.m. Closing time.
And his Instagram's going to get hacked at 4 a.m. again, and we're going to hear some more stacky, cheek clappy over there.
Yeah, why was Booker T not commenting on that?
Shucky, quack. All right.
All right.
I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
LA Knight's not.
That's not true. Because he doesn't get his Instagram hacked.
Hopefully LA Knight doesn't have another match against Logan Paul.
No, he won't. But, like, LA Knight's the one guy I could see, okay, it's a longer reign. It's his first real championship. He didn't have a lot of success in NXT per se either. They've been dying for him to win a championship for a long time. He can carry that through WrestleMania. And also not really a lot of challengers right now for LA Knight, believe it or not.
True.
With Braun Breaker, there is a lot of guys for the IC title that make sense, including Jay, Ilya Dragunov. Obviously, Bronson Reed could be thrown in there, too, at some point because I don't know if he's really world heavyweight title yet. Heel and heel with Gunther, too. I don't know if that works. But, and also Braun, the dogs, the barking, he's a hop, skip, and a jump away from being like that anti-hero face like that. He makes more sense for Gunther if you can't get John, if John doesn't want to be a part of it because I haven't earned it. Whatever bullshit he thinks he hasn't earned that shit, whatever. Well, you can't get Braun and Gunther at WrestleMania.
All these humble
fucking
superstars.
Money. And this guy as a Royal Rumble winner. Fucking money. We talked about that. He could possibly be that guy. Get him out of the IC title.
I want people to remember that was
you.
Something I pointed out.
That was a good prediction.
Now, if that were to happen, then yeah, at some point he has to drop the IC
That's
title.
like having two aces on the flop and you have two aces in your hand. That was a good fucking call.
Thank you.
That's four of a kind like that.
Get him.
Don't need that river.
Hey, man.
Fuck the Mississippi. We're betting on this guy.
I like it. Let's go to rapid fire.
Oh, yeah, man.
Because there's a ton. Honestly, there's a lot of things we need to get to at rapid fire.
We do.
Let's start with this.
No. Next.
We're going to come back to this. I'm not forgetting this.
Oh, God.
Let's go to Batista.
He actually listened to me for a second.
Let's go to Batista. We have something ready to go here in a sec here.
Is this courtesy of Chris Van Vliet?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Batista, the reason why we use this tweet is because Batista in this clip that we're going to play for you questions his own WWE Hall of Fame credentials.
Sorry, my back hurts when people think of bullshit things.
Let's take a look.
Time that I was actually there, my run between 2005 and 2010, I'm proud of. I can say that I'm proud of it. I've had the conversation with Hunter about, going into the Hall of Fame, and I was always a part of me that makes me feel like my career's not worthy of going into the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And then he said this to me, and this makes sense. And he said, with what you accomplish, he said, you accomplished a lot in the short period of time you were there. I think it's worthy. He said, but if you don't feel like it's worthy, look at it this way. What you've accomplished outside of the company makes you a Hall of Fame WWE wrestler. And I would tend to agree with that. I think I'm...
To quote my favorite actor, bullshit. Like, yeah, I hate humble Batista. Like, I don't know, he's not that guy. He's not the character he played on TV.
Yeah.
And I don't care that, I'm trim now. You're still 6'4", 240, you fucking animal, literally.
Yeah.
But, like, you're still jacked out of your mind. But, like, this is also the guy that was supposed to be going into the Hall of Fame already a couple times and had scheduling issues or conflicts. So he's being humble. But for the amount of time he wrestled and for what he did during that time, talk with 6, 7-time world champion, multiple main events of WrestleMania, Royal Rumble winner, all these things through that not many people can say they can check off the list. Come on. Like, this dude is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it's argumentative that he could be the headliner of a class. Some people may say, he needs to be like supplemental with, like, it could be like an Undertaker class, or it could be like a...
No,
he could lead a fucking class.
He's a headliner.
He could be a headliner.
He's a headliner.
He should be a
Let's
headliner.
cut that out.
And honestly, I mean, who knows? Vegas could be the time. This could all be kind of all plot and play for him to finally go in 41 weekend for WrestleMania this upcoming year in Las Vegas. But nevertheless, I mean...
Batista's career is very interesting in WWE. Very interesting. And almost an oddity from, this current generation. Because how long was Stone Cold at the top of WWE?
It was like 3 years. And it still gets talked about. He has more championship wins than Stone Cold. Obviously, Stone Cold won multiple Royal Rumbles in a row. But, like, Stone Cold's real run in WWE, like a solid full-through run, maybe 2 to 3 years. He still stuck around a little bit, did things after that or whatever it was. But, like, 98 to 2000.
Yeah.
97 to 99.
He had the Mania match with Bret Hart in 96.
But then he got dropped on his head. So missed some time, and then he never got back to that. But he had that run of, like, maybe I'll be liberal with this.
We'll go 4 years.
I'll be Kamala
Is
Harris.
that safe?
Yeah, I'll say 3 to 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So if we go 4, all right. Let me give you another question. That was a good one. Let me give you another question.
I want to see Pete shake his head.
How long was The Rock in his original run? How long was he at the top?
5 years.
Okay.
Maybe.
So,
For including the nation stuff, because that's when he really started getting over.
So Rock debuted Survivor Series '96.
Yeah.
He
was in Hollywood by 2001, 2002.
He
right?
was in He did his first movie in '01.
So yeah, like 5 years if you're counting all the way
If
through.
you're counting all that
but
stuff.
his real run, couple years.
So
that's why they call it a run.
So for 5 years, from Mania 21 to I think Mania 26, I think his first retirement.
Yeah.
Batista was the co-face with John Cena.
He was the guy. It was the WrestleMania 25 when they both, or was it? It was Royal Rumble that year, or for WrestleMania 20 when they both went out because it was 2005,
Mm-hmm.
and it was it's a tie, and they threw each other out, and then Batista I think eventually won it or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
I mean, they both worked their way up at the same time, obviously same
And they
class.
were purposely kept on separate shows.
Yes.
Purposely.
Well, remember when Batista got drafted to SmackDown, we were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Cena, and then of course Raw. Fuck! No, it was Cena that got drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
And Batista was there. We're like, "Oh,
So
what the fuck are they gonna do?"
They-
And then SmackDown, of
yeah,
course.
they did like it was the only year they did this format. They did a draft like over a month, and they picked one superstar to jump over on each episode. And then so I think SmackDown had like the SmackDown tournament for like the championship. JBL won, and then Teddy Long comes out. He's like, "My man, you
How
did
tell
win,
you, player?
player. You did win the tournament.
Give me Cena. Give me
But-
Cena.
It is not for the SmackDown Championship. In fact, there is no need for a SmackDown Championship. Give it up one time. The Animal Batista."
His
Man.
face is like, "Oh, yeah."
But
Back when the
for-
draft was cool.
Man, but for 5 years, the feud by your shoulder, Kyle, Batista and Mysterio, one of my personal favorite feuds growing up.
Yeah.
That whole turn and
People forget now they were a tag team. It's crazy. But like,
man,
the
that whole,
bottom line is,
Batista, and then you knew he was going to be a good actor when Batista, he's like, "Ray, I'm going to hurt you." Before McIntyre ever did, "I'm about to hurt you." And then he just, man, Batista.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Stop
No
fucking around.
question.
Stop fucking around, Dave. Humble Batista is not my favorite Batista.
I know. Look. I know he was scarred by the first return
Well, 2014 return
Because-
with Bryan and all that stuff. and
because of
everything,
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I understand that. I get it.
Dude, that's a situational wrong place, wrong time. You still won another Royal Rumble, by the
Yeah.
way. So I mean, like
Yeah.
you're a 2-time Rumble. Like, yeah, come on. Come on.
Then you got the ending with Triple H. So
Yeah.
Batista. Anybody who says he should be a co-head, get the hell out of here. He should be. He's.
I'd listen to the argument depending on who the headliner would be. If you told me, "Oh, it's Cena," well, but they probably should be separate anyway. But
They
like
should be separate.
but there's certain like Orton, like okay, I get it, but then just
I
wait.
would even argue Randy Orton should be alone. I mean,
100%.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any.
That
I
would be
really
kinda-
don't believe.
That would be kind of cool if they did like a triple headliner and it was
I
those
mean,
three.
if-
That would have
if
been
they-
kind of sick.
Question: Is Evolution
Yes, that will go in as a group.
Are they in the Hall of Fame already or no?
No,
They are not.
they will be.
Okay.
I think they're waiting for Randy to kind of get later in his career.
So they
'Cause-
can even do Evolution this upcoming year.
So Ric Flair's gonna be like a 4-time WWE Hall of
That
Famer.
would be something.
I won all the world championships, and I'm a 4-time.
That would be something.
They need to make a physical Hall of Fame.
They should. I don't know.
Stanford, I mean, they have the building. Just fucking do it.
What are they doing with the old Titan Towers?
Burn it to the ground.
Are they selling that to AEW?
We're gonna burn Utica to the ground. Okay?
Are they selling, man, they selling that. My goodness. All right, we got to do it. What is it going to take for you to go to AEW with me in Cleveland?
If we do it together, and you promise to hold my hand, because I want to throw shit at the ring.
Now, and we got to discuss this as a group, and Pete will have the final say because this is
Oh, it's the night
this
before
is-
Halloween too.
this is a
Good.
studio.
I'm gonna be scared shitless when I see 20 people there.
So you get to see all their faces, all the costumes and stuff.
Can I wear a mask? Because I don't know if I
You
wanna be
do
known.
have a point though.
Where is it? Where is it gonna be? Is it at the Wolstein Center?
Wolstein Center.
Of course it is. I fucking told you they were gonna start running that shit. They
No.
can't run Rocket Mortgage.
So you brought up an interesting point either last week or 2 weeks ago. When I asked you point blank, out of the blue, when you go to Raw, who do you expect to see? AEW. I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, Moxley's going to be on this show, and Ricochet.
The guy who was in the lower mid card on WWE is going to be one of the headliners. Oh,
And then so, wait a minute.
who's the girl on the left? She looks hot, but I don't know anything about her.
So real quick, so Swerve's right by me. Why is Swerve not one of the bigger guys?
Why is Swerve still holding the title? Is that what he's?
No, he's not.
Is that
Look
a
at
title?
my actual screen here.
It's hard to see because it's tiny for me.
No, he's not looking at the championship.
I thought he was still holding
No,
it.
he's not holding it.
No
He's not
Brian.
holding anything.
No Brian in the show, apparently.
MJF. But why is MJF? Like, your feature guy. You made the point, though. Your feature guy should be featured. The problem is, from show to show, you don't know who's featured. So.
I cannot wait for there to be 1,500 to 2,000 people in the stands and for someone to tell me that's good. Or it doesn't matter.
Well, that's exactly.
But I'll tell you what, I will go, but you have to buy the fucking ticket.
Let me see if Jim Ross is available. And go from there.
That's honestly, probably, I'm not going to spend my money on AEW. I'm sorry, I can't. But I will be your guest if you'll have me. That way we can watch together and we can react together the next night or whatever it is, because we'll obviously put out a delayed podcast.
So that I was gonna say, for show purposes, if
well, it can't be on a Thursday because of Halloween. So that may be
is Halloween really on that date?
well, that's the 30th is when the show is. So we'd have to either come right after AEW and record here, which Pete's gonna not want to do, or we could wait until that Friday.
Wednesday, October 30th.
But we're gonna have a game too.
We can't do the Friday.
Yeah, maybe a Saturday show that week. Maybe we just do a live Saturday show.
Maybe. We'll see.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Fuck.
Real quick, part of Rapid Fire. I put an image of the old Shockwave. I didn't mean to talk about Candy Stand Miniature Golf. And Fox Sports. What is this news? This rumor that
AEW wants to make another show on Fox. I seriously would love to know what Tony Khan is smoking, and then I'd like some, because I don't understand what in his right fucking mind makes him think that, you know what, we're doing so well with Collision and Rampage that let's spread ourselves even more thin and try and do a show on Fox. And also, if Fox decides to try and pay for this fucking show and they decide to do something, Fox deserves to pull a TNT and to start going fucking bankrupt because it's stupid.
So apparently, I kind of don't buy it, but apparently, the theory on Fox Sports is in.
The Austin Theory.
And again, one of these days we'll do his Let's Fix It.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Working on the concepts of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm leaning towards Rebecca's idea more at this point than Let's Fix
Me
It.
too.
Yeah.
So the logic apparently was that SmackDown, try to follow with me. Try. SmackDown was too expensive for Fox. It pulled great ratings, pulled great numbers.
Obviously.
Pulled, I think, all-time Friday night numbers for the Fox network.
Yeah.
But it was too expensive. And Fox Sports likes the idea of having professional wrestling, but they want a cheaper product. So apparently AEW fits in that.
Talk to TNA.
Even that doesn't make sense. I mean,
Get TNA on Fox.
look,
Do it.
listen. If AEW somehow schemes their way into getting on Fox, kudos to them.
Also, is Turner going to be okay with that? Is TNT going
Because
to
they
be
will,
all right?
because they would lose exclusivity, which is what they were supposed to have with Collision on Saturdays.
Maybe this is a threat. Maybe this is a, hey, because we haven't signed this deal yet. You guys haven't put pen to paper. We're talking to Fox. I mean, it may not be for the main shows, but we're going to sign a deal with them, and you're going to have to deal with it. Sign the fucking deal. Let's go. I mean, I don't know what their business tactics are. Tony Khan is a businessman, but I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Who knows? Who knows what's going on? All right. What is going on? Again, we kind of mentioned a little bit before, but Gunther had the line of the night on Raw with Bill Goldberg. And I'll say this. I think he's turning the corner. I think he's finding himself. He's finding his voice now that he's back on weekly television. Finally, after basically being off essentially the entire summer, Gunther's finally finding his voice again as world champion. And I have a match proposal to present to you.
Don't tell me Gunther versus Bret Hart.
Not this time. No.
Not anytime anymore.
Not this time. Maybe
to go back to 1996 for me. When
maybe create a wrestler on SmackDown versus or SmackDown 2 or whatever. Put Bret. Anywho, I have an idea. It's actually a follow-up idea.
Really?
In light of the debate that just happened the other night.
God, don't do this again.
In light of the debate, the upcoming World Championship match.
You suck.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
You literally.
You know where I'm going with this.
You literally suck.
Coming up in Bad Blood.
Why is it always Sammy who's involved in these two?
Sami Zayn.
God damn it.
Liberal. Sami Zayn. What if he actually is a Trump supporter? It'll blow this entire bit.
Was he pro-Israel? Sammy is.
I think so.
He might be a Republican.
Oh, he might be. I think this bit's blown. Okay, I'm going to follow through with it anyway.
Do what you want.
I'm going to follow through. Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the World Championship. Kamala Harris on the corner of Sami Zayn. Gunther respects one world leader in the entire world, and that's former President Donald Trump. It's on the other side. And apparently, if Sammy is a closet Republican, then we're going to get a heel turn at Bad Blood. Atlanta. Now,
so Gunther is the biggest troll. So he would be on Trump's side just to piss off Sammy and
Yes.
Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
I'm mad you're doing this for fucking clicks. This is ridiculous. Like, this is wild.
Look, what? Now the question: who would be the special guest referee / moderator? I guess.
RFK?
RFK.
The actual only physical fit one to probably do something like this?
RFK can't take him. You know who else though? Who the moderator who did the debate?
David Muir?
Yeah. Have you ever? He is built. He is built. At least he can move around the ring.
He's got nice hair.
He has really nice hair. Really nice hair.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Joe Tessitore is looking for a job at that point, maybe he can step in. He's not going to be calling WWE programming by the time that comes around. So.
Holy moly!
Well, he will. It's Bad Blood. But like, if it was like WrestleMania.
No, it's a Saturday. He can't call it college football.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, his actual job where he gets paid real good money for that he's good at. Son of a bitch. I'm so mad we went down this road.
Look, 20 minutes.
Call it. Anything else?
Man. Before we wrap, we talked about the Bad Blood card. We do want to acknowledge, we did, obviously, as all of you know, we tape on Wednesdays, and on our taping day fell on September 11th.
Yeah.
And I do want to acknowledge, of course, kind of how, we don't talk much about how pro wrestling kind of helped a little bit with the America's recovery a little bit with 9/11. But first things first, we both want to acknowledge, first off, send our best wishes to Zelina Vega. Her father, I believe, was killed on 9/11 in the Twin Towers, I believe.
Oh yeah, she's from New York, so yeah, it's
in the Twin Towers. So it's always we can't speak on how that feels. It's obviously a tough day.
Makes me want to take a chancla to terrorism.
But our best to her, obviously, with that going forward. And that I do want to make mention though. I know it's a different time, different place. I couldn't imagine if something like this were to happen at all today, if you would turn around 2 days later and do a live television show. That idea seems wild today.
2 days. Well, it depends.
But again, different time. And pro wrestling was the first event. That SmackDown. I remember watching it. That SmackDown, one of the rare SmackDown shows to be live back then.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon coming out and saying what he had to say, and then the wrestlers performing, like, that was a huge deal.
It was.
Huge deal to do that. So we want to just acknowledge. I remember. Funny thing real quick about 9/11. I remember I was in 4th grade, and most of my classmates was going home, but they didn't tell us what was happening. I had no idea. I was just upset that day because we couldn't have recess. It was sunny and everything, and the teachers or the over the intercom, the principal's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have indoor recess," and we're like, "What? It's sunny." It's sunny in Philadelphia. What are we doing? And
I didn't know went to elementary school in Philadelphia.
Nah, in Cleveland, in Maple, and then I didn't find out. This is the crazy thing about technology today. Did not hear a word about 9/11 until 3:30 when I was at home.
Yeah,
crazy times. But we want to send our best. Obviously, I know it's a tough day, tough week. Of course, with that coming up, of course. And here.
But end on a fucking somber note, dude.
Man. Is there a way I could turn this thing around? Your final thoughts on Joe Tessitore?
No, you can turn it around by accidentally going live on Instagram. Are we still talking about that or no? Okay, I guess not. Bye, guys. We'll see you next week.
Clap, 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 clap.
I was hacked.